Hello fellow YouTubers and welcome to Ed's Drafts. In this video I'm going to be doing a quick review of this Dashcam, which is DrivePro 230 by Transcend. I got this unit sent from Transcend directly, who offered me this particular unit for video review. I had it for about a month and I'm going to have it for another few weeks before sending it back to Transcend. So this video is going to be my quick overview, not an opinion as such, but more of a quick overview with some footage samples from day and night, and I'm going to compare it to the DrivePro 220 because I actually have that unit and I had it for at least probably a couple of years now, and yeah, I never had any issues with it, but I wanted to see what's the quality like with the DrivePro 230, so I did a quick comparison, and I'm actually going to do a quick comparison as well in terms of what's the difference in what the units look like and feel like. So let's get started. First things first, what are the features like? It has a Wi-Fi, it has a GPS, which also synchronizes the time on the unit, so you don't need to worry about setting it manually. It has emergency recording, which is basically a G sensor, so when the camera is shaken, it's gonna lock the file so it cannot be overwritten, and in case you need it, it's there. It has enhanced night view, which is basically, as far as I understand, is made possible by Sony camera sensor, which is inside of this unit. And it has a 16GB card inside by Transcend, which is MLC flash, as they say, for high endurance. So it's just basically a more robust SD card that's some cheaper ones out there. And it records full HD at 1080p. Now, what it also has, obviously, apart from lane departure and whatnot, it has a parking mode. Now, guys, I'm not going to be discussing parking mode in this video because I simply don't need it myself, but it is there. It's using the built-in battery on this unit that can continuously record. I think it would last for about an hour, maybe two max. Depends on what you select in terms of the settings, but it can also run on your car battery, on another battery. So for instance, if you're powering this unit from something like this, which is external power bank via micro USB connector, you can let it run for even possibly longer, but that's up to yourselves to see how you want to wire that up. I'm not going to be using it because basically for safety and to avoid theft of this unit from my vehicle, I'm going to be removing it from my vehicle, just as I'm doing it with the DrivePro 220. And it has a mount like this, so it's very easy to remove. So basically, as it sits on your windscreen, you just need to do like so, and off you go. Obviously, you need to disconnect the power as well, but that's not a big deal. I've been doing that for quite a while with my DrivePro 220. Now, what's included in the box, as you see here, plus the warranty card and more information, dash cams and body cams. By the way, they have dual camera setup dash cams as well as body cams. I've done an overview of this before, as well as that unit. I might be doing an overview of the newer unit of these in my future videos, so stay tuned for that. So included, we have the card, which is already in the unit. So it's just a 16GB MLC card as advertised. And the mount, I think they also come with a adhesive mount as well with this one. I prefer this one because it can be easily removed, especially when you want to clean your windscreen, or maybe even carry the camera with you to another vehicle. So for instance, I myself purchased a separate mount. By the way, this is a mount for DrivePro 220 as well fits DrivePro 230. So if you have a mount already and you're upgrading camera, or you're buying a separate one, now you can use the same mount. And obviously the power is included. The cable is, it actually doesn't say on the box, but I think it's about 5-6 meters. So that should be enough for the front of your vehicle. Wouldn't be probably enough if you were wiring it towards the back of the vehicle. So keep that in mind. Now, the good thing is that this supports I think between 10 and 30 volts. What that means is you can use it for a car, a truck, a lorry, or whatever you want, as long as it has this type of connectivity. So that aside, and that aside, let's have a quick look at the menu. Now, I'm gonna be quite brief because it's pretty much the same as DrivePro 220, but I still wanted you to have a look at that. So to power on the unit, just connect any source via micro USB. So in this case, I'm just using the external power bank, and it starts recording. Now, the menu is basically controlled by these buttons here. So this is for Wi-Fi. This is for video file review. Emergency, basically just a separate folder, as well as snapshots. Here you can take a snapshot, and here you can go into menus further. So for resolution value, you can set that 720 1080. Exposure, you can lower it or brighten it. Video length, you can split it into, as you see, 1, 3, or 5 minutes. Loop recording, on, off. Video stamp, on, off. Microphone, same. Volume, that's for speaker. Light frequency, to remove the basically flickering from the street lamps. And what do we have else? Time lapse, how many shots per second. G sensor, low, off, or medium, or high. Speed unit, pretty much the same so far as the DrivePro 220. Apart from obviously parking mode, enable, disable. Now, I don't really use it, so I can disable it. Power delay off, handy to have, 10-30 seconds. And auto display off. Now, this feature will not work if you have headlight reminder, driver fatigue alert, forward collision speed alarm, or lane departure on, because these require basically notifications to be displayed on the screen. As such, your display will not power off if you have these features enabled. GPS status, no fix. That's fine because I'm in the building at the moment. Navigation system, GPS GLONASS, headlight reminder, handy to have, especially for those countries where headlights to be switched on at all times, day or night. Driver fatigue alert. I think that's actually quite handy. So that's very welcome feature. And date, time, language. I have these languages on my review unit. Format card, which is going to basically erase everything on the card, including the locked files. Upgrade firmware, restore defaults, or information which shows your firmware version. Now, so that's that. What I'm going to do next, let's just unplug that. So normally that would auto turn off, as you see. So this animation is just a bit different from 220. Other than that, as I said, the menu is pretty much the same, other than driver fatigue alert and that headlights on reminder. So these are handy to have. On the front, you have a speaker and a microphone, the lens, which is a little bit recessed into the surface. So if the camera falls or something on the lens, or if you're just putting on some sort of a rough surface, it's not going to scratch the lens immediately. It's just going to probably scratch the outside surface. Micro USB, as mentioned before. SD cards, micro SD card slot, as well as the emergency record button if you want to press it manually. Some information here, as well as I believe there was a, yep, there we go, reset button. And we also have the mount, which is pretty much standard for the Transcend cameras. And that's the unit itself. Next, I'm going to actually show you some video samples. So while you're watching the video comparison and the footage from both DrivePro 220 and 230, I'm going to try to sum up a few things there about this Dashcam. In my opinion, it's a great Dashcam and it's a worthy upgrade from DrivePro 220. If you do have DrivePro 220 at the same time, I don't think there are groundbreaking features on 230 other than driver fatigue alert, headlights warning, or most importantly, the matte finish on the front, They are welcome features, don't get me wrong, but at the same time the camera performs, looks and feels very similar to DrivePro 220, which never gave me any issues in the last few years of use. So based on that, I'd be very happy to recommend you DrivePro 230 from Transcend. I think it's a great product. I think it's a reliable product, well built, and the company itself will stand for its name. So that's a big plus, especially when you're thinking about something like a dash cam. You don't want to get something that might give you a good video recording quality, but will give you some sort of trouble down the road. You want something that's reliable and that has all the features that you need built in. Now, having said that, it's a bit tough to recommend this unit without looking what's out there on the market. There are so many other manufacturers that are stepping in. Some of them I've never heard of in my life. Some of them I would have from something like a smartphone or tablet manufacturers. So there's a good few companies that are stepping in. Now, Transcend did the same thing a couple of years ago, and they did a very nice entry, and a lot of people did love their products and still do. But the market is getting saturated, and I think Transcend needs to watch out for that, because for some people, customer service, reliability, quality, or anything like that doesn't matter. All they want is recording of whatever footage is happening, and they would even sacrifice some features of the dash cam, which is up to them. I wouldn't do that, but it's just, that's how it is. So Transcend needs to keep an eye on that, and maybe be a little bit more aggressive in terms of their pricing. So here's my review of Transcend DrivePro 230. I hope you enjoyed it. If you do have any questions, leave them at the comment section down below. I'll be sure to answer, and thanks for watching. Have a nice day.